Hey guys, how's it going? Love ya. Hope you're doing well. Caleb here, and haven't made a video in some time, but I had been sort of talking about some finance stuff, and some people I know were very interested in it, more interested than I would have expected. So, kind of made me think maybe this is something worth talking about. And I'm gonna maybe do this video very simply and try to not get a bunch of fluff in it. And then if it goes good, I will make more videos. Maybe if it doesn't go good, maybe I'll just make a bunch of videos about it. But anyway, first one I wanted to say is that it's just very simple, in that you want your financial situation to be more money is coming in than going out, because you'll always run into a problem if it's not that way. It seems very simple, and again, this is very basic, but sometimes people need things broken down very simply, very basically, and most people learn best that way. So yeah, you're gonna eventually go bankrupt or just not have enough to eat that month, or not survive, if you don't figure this out, that you need to have more money coming in. I'll just put it this way: you're gonna run into problems, right? So that's the first step to getting kind of your finances figured out. And I think most people could be in a okay situation. I think almost everyone on earth, almost everyone that I know in the first world, have enough money to be surviving. It really shouldn't be a problem. It's just that people take on either monthly commitments that they can't fulfill, or they are spending on stuff that isn't commitments that they don't need to be spending on, or a combination of both. So what I kind of try to do first of all is make sure that the money that's going out, these things that are set in stone, so it's either a rent, monthly, mortgage, two of the biggest, car payment, stuff that you're subscribed to, Netflix, internet, phone. These you can get down as much as possible, of course. That's the goal. If any one of those is causing you huge problems, you might have to change your life or figure things out. I mean, a lot of people need internet for work or just to stay in contact with the world. A lot of people need a phone plan. You obviously need a place to live, but most people are living in a place bigger than what they need. Realistically, you only need a 1-bedroom place, a bathroom and maybe a kitchen, right? And so that would be the biggest one to cut down on if you're in financial trouble. And people often want to live in like the city center or something, and if that really makes a difference for your life, okay, maybe. But if you're having financial trouble, you probably want to live closer to the edge of a city or in another city and commute or something like that. And at that point, you have to take into account, how much money you're spending on gas or transportation. But yeah, then I mean, car payments are kind of insane in that you can get a car that's working and will last for a while for like $5,000. You could get like a used Toyota Corolla, right, with a bunch of miles on it that'll still go, 50 or 100,000 miles. I'd say $5,000 to $10,000 you could get one. You want to get it checked out and make sure there's no problems, but like major problems. But really, almost nobody needs a super expensive car. And you'll get less maintenance issues with the Toyota, and you'll get less, you get better, cheaper insurance, decent gas mileage, and then we kind of go into all these other ridiculous things that people spend their money on. If you're like smoking, it's so much money they charge on tax and stuff. Any sort of vices, huge issues. I should say there are a bunch of these phone plans that use the same networks as major carriers, but they're much cheaper. And I'm not exactly sure how they do it, but you can look up like Red Pocket Mobile that I've used in the past. It worked fantastically for me. So, and you can get unlimited data, minutes, and stuff like that for way, way cheaper. Just look up like budget carriers. They use the same network. I think that the only difference is that they just don't have the customer service is not as maybe easy to get a hold of, but they were fine for me. And it's like some of them are like $10 a month. So you now with all this stuff available with Google, with ChatGPT, you can look up stuff like this. What's the cheapest carrier? Like look up on Reddit reviews of the carriers. What's a good rated budget carrier? Look at the reviews. And you know what is easy with the ones without a contract is you can just start it, use it for a month. If it's terrible, use another one. The startup fee is like $5. It's $10-15 per month, maybe $20. So what? You lose $25. It's better than spending $100 on some. I don't know how much they are now, but I think usually $50 or more for like a T-Mobile or something like that. Internet's a little harder because there's not. I think there's like in some areas only one provider, so that's the one thing that's might be difficult to get around. But with Starlink, I don't know if I've seen some people have that. I think someone I know has that, so that might be an option. But yeah, so you really cannot be helped if you want to invest your money, if you want to have a better future, if you want to not get into financial problems, you can't be helped if you're spending more money than you're bringing in. Now, I could go on and on and on and talk about details about little ways you can not spend money, but you can kind of just think about like, am I living to the lowest possible way that I can in terms of spending money and keeping, not going insane. I'm not advocating for living on the street because you save money, but yeah, hold on. What was I gonna do? Okay. Now we'll go to the next part, which is, making more money. Obviously, if you can just keep making more money, then you don't have to worry about how much you spend, right? I would still recommend trying to get that amount down, but yeah. Very few people are actually able to do that, just keep making tons and tons of more money. A few tips with that is keep applying. No matter, even if you just got a job, you can keep applying to other jobs. There's been some studies that shown that people who keep getting new jobs make a much more money overall in their lifetime than people who just keep the same job, stay at the same company, the same place their whole life. Keep trying to get higher paid positions. Keep trying to get new. You don't necessarily have to get an entirely new position, but depending on your industry, you might be able to get. If you're experienced, you might be able to get a managerial role at another place if they're not giving you a promotion at your current place. Or you might just get more money for the same role. I'd say learn new skills and just do the best you can. That one's it's harder. It's easier to cut out waste. But yeah, then once you've done all you can, you look at what you're making, each day or week or month or whatever, and compare it to how much that's going out. And once that's a positive, then you can think about, okay, what's the next step? So I guess in the long run, you want it to be you have this huge amount of money invested, right? I was going to make this a bunch of videos, but maybe I'll just make it one and then I'll go over details because I feel like I'm on a roll. But you want to have some money available for emergencies and stuff, but if you have a credit card and you pay it off frequent. Oh, that was the other thing. Glad I said that. If you have any sort of debt, you got to make sure you're figuring out if that's helping you or hurting you. And many people might say, "Oh, debt of could that be helping?" I'll explain. If you have credit card debt, it's probably hurting you because almost always it's like very, very high percent rate. I think it's usually between like 18 and 36% that you're paying on the debt, which is pretty high. There are few investments that you're gonna get more back, unless you're a professional investor or you have some sort of amazing business or something like that. But I don't count on that. Don't count on if somebody says they're gonna get you 20% return, and you can put some, I don't know, you can somehow use your credit card to invest with that. If it's getting 18% taken out each year, I wouldn't do it because you might be getting 20%, but they could be wrong too. So they would very likely be wrong. Anyway, getting off topic a little bit. Credit card debt, you want to get down massively. You want to eliminate. That's the idea. If you have any credit card debt, get rid of that. And if you have some sort of like a home loan, if you have a car loan, if you have student loan debt, if you have anything really that's under like right now in 2015 in the United States, if it's under like 3%, then I would suggest personally, don't worry about that likely. And I should have prefaced this video with saying this isn't financial advice, because like I think you can be sued if you're giving financial advice or something. This is not financial advice. It's just, I don't know, just me talking, I guess, to a camera, and then I upload it. But I'm not giving financial advice. Having said that, if it's under 3% per year that you're paying in a debt, you can keep money in a bank account that pays more than that right now. So you'll actually be making money by not paying off that debt. Once it gets higher than that, then you're going to be losing money. So you should probably pay that off sooner than later. But yeah, if you want to be financially secure, you want to have a lot of money, which you'll likely need to invest to be able to have a lot of money, and you have a debt that's over 4% per year, 3 or 4%, then pay that off first. Okay. With the stock market, S&P 500 is pretty safe investment. I mean, long term. And if you're really young, you could invest in that instead of paying off the debt. If your debt's like 4 or 5% per year, because on average the S&P makes more than that per year. But it might not. And the reality is, as safe as something is, it can go bad. And it can go bad for a long time. It could go bad for a decade, 2 decades. You really don't know. Certainly if you're an older person, that, could be the rest of your life. So, all right, this might be a lot to take in, so I think I'll stop it there, but I'll kind of summarize. Yeah, so I will make this more videos, but I'll summarize it by saying, make sure high interest rate debt is eliminated. Get that down. Wasteful spending, get that down. If you're living above your means, don't do that. You can do that later. It's okay. And if it's an ego thing, then that's a whole nother bunch of problems that you got to deal with. But in the meantime, just go, all right, I got to do this. Sometimes you just have to do stuff. You have to. Otherwise, what's better? Keeping your ego up high or getting bankrupt and not having a good financial future and not being able to retire and so on and so forth. So, yeah. Hopefully maybe that's helped some people in that. Well, to really wrap it up, again, it's making sure the amount you're getting coming in is more than the amount that's going out each day or week or month, whatever. That has to happen. That's just basic physics. It's not going to work if more is going out than coming in. Eventually you run out. It has to be the other way around. Less is going out than coming in. Okay? Thank you guys for watching. Love ya. Yeah, if you would comment, subscribe and like and stuff, let me know any questions you have and I'll try to help. Take care.